I guess it started when I was a child. My mother was a hairdresser in the late 50s, early 60s. And I used to watch her tease her hair every day and then sort of pat it into a moulded look and then do a little bit of makeup. She didn't wear a lot of makeup, but she did make sure she looked really lovely when she left. And I can still smell the scent of her foundation, which I believe was Maybelline, and she would use Pond's moisturiser, and I can still smell those scents that they were as when I was a child, which was years ago. They do, they create memories, and it just takes you back to when you're a little girl, looking up at your mother at her dressing table, getting ready to go out, and then she would put some perfume on, and it seemed like just a little bit of magic that she would wield in some way. Yeah. I have always loved playing with makeup. I wanted the doll that you put the makeup on and did the hair, of course. I didn't get one till I was 13. And then I sort of lost interest a little bit in it. So it was more about putting it on myself then, and reading magazines like Dolly and watching Madonna as she emerged. Just all of those things. Being a teenager, makeup was always included in that part of my life. I had a brief glimpse with makeup when I was 17. I couldn't get a job, and I rang up the only makeup school in Perth and I said, "Can I please come and do the course until I get a job?" And they said no. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. I didn't really probably have the money to do it then anyway, so I said, okay, bye. And then I didn't do it again until I was 32. And I saw an article in the newspaper by one of my idols, Sharon Sinclair from WASP, and she was recruiting people in Perth because they needed more people to do hair and makeup, and she actually had her own school, so she was looking for students. And I thought, oh, I could do that. And my husband, then partner, okay. And then I did about 4 short courses, and I then started my first business a year later called Make Me Up Before You Go, showing my age because I was a gigantic Wham fan, and everyone thought that was a cool name. It made brides comfortable and happy, and they could associate it with something that was a good memory. And so I feel like even though it might be a bit daggy now, it did work for me in the beginning to be really approachable and friendly, and that's what I like to be. I guess it's because I did do a few different courses and I wanted to be good before I put myself out there, which is difficult because when I was doing it, it was only the Cert 2 in makeup artistry, or you had to do a full diploma, and the diploma costs a lot more money. So I had to do a lot of training on the job as well, and that's with anything really. So it did take me a little while to build my confidence. I worked casually as well, so I guess I used my friends' faces. They let me. One of my friends told me not to make her look like someone on The Bold and the Beautiful, and of course I went and did that, and I thought it was completely natural, and she's like, okay. And these things take time. You evolve, you get to see that with the artist's eye what you're doing and how to then pull back and then blend and make it all look balanced. It does take a little while, Michael, it does. Yeah. It's about gaining a perspective not only on what you're doing but also on yourself, and being able to then see the person in front of you rather than projecting onto them what you've learnt. It's about how to really customise that to your client rather than like unfortunately I think a lot of makeup artists these days just putting a ton of makeup on, and they're transforming their clients, definitely, and they're doing an amazing job. But is that what the client wanted? Are you using not only your makeup artist's eye, but your makeup artist's customer service ability as well to keep your clients happy? And not everyone wants to look like an Instagram queen. They want to look like themselves, and maybe a slightly more glamorous version of themselves, but not completely transformed into somebody else. I think it's definitely about blending. It's a word that we use a lot, is blending and softening lines around the eyes and the cheeks area. Contouring is a very big word that's been bandied around a lot as well, but it can help if it's subtle and soft. Contouring is where you can bring in shape to the face by using a darker colour, and then you highlight above that to bring out. So pushing in the contour, bringing out the highlight. And you don't have to be wearing a Kim Kardashian style makeup for that to happen. It can be very subtle. So it's about bringing in the makeup artistry into the makeup, and so into your bathroom and your makeup kit, and sort of just giving you little subtle tips and things like that to use for you. I think it starts with skin, definitely good skin. Learning what colours and what textures work with that skin and your overall look. I think a lot of people can get that very wrong, and that's what I can definitely help with and would love to do. And then it's being age appropriate as well, and the products, making sure you have the correct products for what you're trying to create, what's going to suit your skin, what's going to stay on your skin. For example, my skin, things come off my skin very easily. So there's, obviously dry, normal and oily types of skin, which we have to work with, and makeup companies are always working with those, and it's really important. You can't just put any old thing onto people and expect it to look as good as that person that's having their photo taken, for example. So, yeah, it's just about little tips and tricks that I can help the everyday woman to learn, so that she can actually apply makeup in a professional manner at home, and that will suit her and be age appropriate and will stay on. Well, it's about tailoring it to you, to maybe tone it down slightly, or if you're into all of that, you can amp it right up. It's really fun. And yeah, definitely bringing the fun in, and then sort of a little bit of experimenting, which we all have to do, and just seeing how we can customize it for you, to say, okay, look, I actually have taken the cheek from Kendall Jenner from her runway look, and that was on Instagram last week. What do you think? And you can do it. It's easy. We can show you, no problem. I think it's to do with the colour choices that they are making. Unfortunately, the shops, this is one very big tip, the shops have extremely bright lights. You must go outside and test things on yourself outside in natural light. No one walks around with, these bright lights above them, unless it's a nighttime look, of course, then it's pretty fine. But yeah, just one of the things is definitely colour choices. It's where your retail assistant really has to help you, and you can't really do it on your own. You must have someone to show you how to blend a foundation down to the neck, etc. And then obviously knowing your colours, what suits you. Don't go and buy a turquoise eyeshadow if you have like a more of an earthy looking hair and skin tone. It's just really not going to work. It's not going to suit you. So it's about knowing yourself and knowing what does and doesn't work for you, and creating something that you can own and you can wear and you can adjust it. You can have a signature look, but you can adjust it over time with the fashions as well. Yeah, definitely. And makeup artists that will work with them, and you can hear some of their issues that they've had, the models that we bring in, the people that we know, the everyday ladies we know, and they can explain what their little tricks are or what they find works for them too, because we've all learnt along the way through making some mistakes, and we all have a makeup drawer full of mistakes, which we'd like to try and help you avoid. And just I also want to give you the confidence to go into the stores and say, okay, well, I know with confidence that I have dry skin, so I need a moisturising foundation. And there you go. So the client, the sales assistant knows exactly what to help you look for. Doesn't even have to look at your face or touch your face, because you've told her with confidence what you need. And instantly you've entered her world and she knows that you know what you're talking about. No, it isn't. If you have, say, 4 or 5 products that you love, why would you need more? You don't. You can use them from the supermarket, from the chemist, from the department store, or you can buy professional products. It depends on your skin, your level of interest in makeup, your level of investment in yourself. And some people just love brand names. Other people are just like, okay, it works, I don't care what it's called, I just love it. I'm going to go to that shop every second month and buy that mascara. It works for them. So whatever works for you is what's important. It is. It's interesting what the different looks are that are happening at the moment, and then how to actually create that. You may love Arabic makeup, which is very popular at the moment, but you may not unfortunately be able to create it because you have an eye shape that doesn't allow for that. So we can help you with that as well. But then you might be able to do something just ever so slightly that's inspired by that look that we can help you with to get. So it's about taking from and playing and just creating it for yourself and just customizing it for you. And you might love turquoise eyeshadow, and we can show you what to do with that. Yes, I know, I've got lots of photos to show you, and I'll have Sandy Tao here, and she's the photographer and also a makeup artist, and she's very, very good at that. So she's definitely one of our people we're going to have on as one of our experts. And so not only does she create it, but she photographs it as well for other artists, so she knows what to look for and how to edit, etc. Yeah, so that's the fun part of makeup. You might go to a festival with lip art, definitely some jewels, etc. There's some things that you don't want to have on your lips that are happening, but definitely it's lots and lots of fun, and there's no reason that you can't create that for yourself at home, just with a little bit of practice. It's so much fun. I recently went to buy an outfit for my event, and the lady wanted to make me dress in a different way because I dress quite plainly, but I said to my makeup artist that came on the day, I play up my face. Makeup is my accessory, not jewellery and handbags, etc. My face is where I like to have fun and be playful, and my hair. So it's just how I love to do things, and I keep everything else very simple, and I think it's the most fun thing you can play with. It's great. Definitely, and people are already doing it. They're watching lots of tutorials, etc., learning, and it's really just, again, about experimenting, not being too serious, getting some feedback maybe if that suits you or not, and just having fun and just relaxing and enjoying it. And then when you know you've got it right, everyone's going to say, wow, yeah. I hope it's going to be popular and take off, and we'll get feedback from people as to what they want. And the inspiration was that I just love being in this two worlds of being a woman, but also being a makeup artist and a hairdresser and hairstylist, and wanting to share that world with others so that they can, I almost want to be their guide and their interpreter and go, okay, well, I know what that means, so I can tell you if you ask me a question. And just, so I want to demystify it for people, because it's not rocket science. It is a giant business. It's a huge area that women love to sort of dip their feet into. But let's just jump in instead, and I will help you to learn what you need to learn. Well, we definitely got to go with anti-aging. That's giant, massive area that's coming out, and I've got my own thing that I can tell you about that I do. And have some guests around that area, and maybe look at some injectables. I don't know a lot about that, so I would like to learn a bit more myself. I don't like needles, but okay. So, and then we've obviously got to go into some hair salons and see what's happening in the salons. I would love to take you backstage at a runway show if I can organise that. That's lots of fun. And introduce you to some of my friends who are really amazing hairdressers, really amazing makeup artists. They would love to come on, and we're going to show you what they can do and what the difference is between makeup, which you can do at home, but also what are the tricks and tips and insider information. And I'll show you that in the studio here. I'll probably get someone to come in and just have their own makeup on, and then we'll do a quick 5-minute makeup artist makeover, and you can see the before and afters, which is really exciting. So there's lots. I don't want to give it all away, but yeah, there's lots happening, and I can't wait to share it with you.